Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're re-diving into the incredible story of a man whose name is synonymous with innovation and engineering excellence, Soichiro Honda. But before the global empire, before the legendary cars and motorcycles, he was just a boy with a dream, a wrench in his hand, and an unstoppable spirit. Our story begins in 1906, in a small village near Hamamatsu, Japan. Soichiro was born into a family that wasn't wealthy. His father was a blacksmith, and from a very young age, Soichiro was fascinated by the clanging of the forge and the magic of shaping metal. He wasn't exactly a model student in the traditional sense. While other kids had their noses in books, Soichiro's mind was on machines. He would spend hours at his father's workshop, learning to repair bicycles and getting his hands greasy. One of his earliest memories, one that he said changed his life forever, was seeing his first automobile. The sight, the sound, the smell of oil, it was a sensory explosion for the young boy. He was so captivated that he ran after the car, and even after it was long gone, he knelt on the ground and smelled the spot where a drop of oil had fallen. Right then and there, a spark was ignited. He knew he wanted to dedicate his life to things that moved. At just 15 years old, with only a basic education, Soichiro made a bold move. He left his small village and headed for the bustling city of Tokyo. He had no formal qualifications, but he managed to land an apprenticeship at a car repair shop called Art Shokai. At first, his duties were menial, cleaning the shop and even babysitting his boss's children. But Soichiro was patient and observant. He soaked up every bit of knowledge he could, watching the master mechanics work their magic on engines and chassis. His big break came during the Great Kanto earthquake of 1923. With so many mechanics having left the city, Art Shokai was overwhelmed with repair work. The owner, needing every hand he could get, finally let the young, eager Soichiro work on the cars. Soichiro's natural talent shone through. He proved to be a gifted and intuitive mechanic, quickly earning the trust and respect of his boss and colleagues. After 6 years of honing his skills, Soichiro returned to his hometown in 1928, a seasoned and confident mechanic. He was only 22 when he started his own branch of Art Shokai. His reputation for quality work spread like wildfire. He wasn't just fixing cars, he was improving them, innovating with custom solutions for racing cars and tackling complex mechanical challenges that others wouldn't dare touch. But simply repairing things wasn't enough for Soichiro's ambitious spirit. He saw a bigger opportunity. At the time, Japan's auto industry relied heavily on imported parts, including critical components like piston rings. Soichiro believed he could make better ones, right there in Japan. He decided to pivot from repair to manufacturing. This was a huge risk. He poured all his savings into this new venture, and in 1937, he founded a new company called Tokai Seiki Heavy Industry. The goal was to mass-produce high-quality piston rings. However, the path was far from smooth. His initial prototypes were a complete disaster. He lacked formal knowledge in casting and metallurgy. Under Soichiro and Kato worked tirelessly. By day, Soichiro ran the Hamamatsu repair shop. By night, he developed pistons at the Art Piston Ring Research Center. Failures mounted. He lost weight from stress, looking emaciated. He enrolled part-time at Hamamatsu Industrial Institute to study metallurgy. In 1939, he finally perfected a piston ring. Confident, he quit Art Shokai and went full-time at Tokai Seiki. Early Toyota tests rejected most samples, but Soichiro traveled Japan learning from steelmakers and universities. His improved rings passed and orders flooded in. The company grew to 2,000 employees. Then war hit. In 1941, Japan entered the Pacific War. Tokai Seiki fell under Ministry of Munitions Control. Toyota took 45% equity in 1942, downgrading Soichiro to senior managing director. Male workers were drafted, leaving the company struggling. In 1944, US air raids bombed Hamamatsu, destroying the factory. In January 1945, the Nankai earthquake collapsed another plant. Japan surrendered in August 1945. Soichiro had lost nearly everything. He sold Tokai Seiki remnants to Toyota for 450,000 yen and took time off to reflect amid post-war ruins. Japan faced economic collapse, food, clothing, and fuel shortages. Soichiro couldn't even drive to market. One day, he found a surplus Imperial Army generator engine, used for radios, and had an idea: attach it to a bicycle for cheap transport. Motorized bikes existed in Europe, but Japan needed them desperately. In 1946, he founded the Honda Technical Research Institute in his old warehouse with 12 staff. Using scavenged engines and parts, they built motorized bicycles that sold out instantly. Running out of surplus engines, he designed his own. In 1947, the Type A engine debuted, the first with Honda on it. In 1948, he founded Honda Motor Company, aiming to build motorcycles for Japan's workers. To fund expansion, he wrote an open letter to 18,000 bicycle shops, 3,000 invested. In 1949, the full Dream Type D motorcycle launched. The heavy Model D struggled, so after 3 years of work, the lighter Super Cub arrived in 1958, an instant hit, winning the Emperor's Prize. Partner Takeo Fujisawa provided capital and marketing genius, forming the company's foundation. The Super Cub reached the US in 1958 at $295, far cheaper than competitors, and outsold Triumph and Harley-Davidson in their markets. Honda entered racing in 1954 with poor results, but Soichiro studied competitors obsessively. By 1959, Honda won the manufacturer's prize at the Isle of Mantidi. They dominated again in 1961. Racing showcased engineering and put Honda on the global map. By the 1960s, Honda was the world's largest motorcycle maker, 10 million produced by 1968. But Soichiro's childhood dream was cars. Despite warnings, Japan had Nissan, Toyota. He entered in 1963 with the T360 mini truck. Honda paused racing to focus on road cars. The 1972 Civic succeeded amid the 1970s oil crisis. Its CVCC engine managed fuel efficiently, and catalytic converters reduced emissions ahead of rivals. The Honda Accord, 1976, expanded to sedans, spacious, efficient, and became one of history's best-selling cars. By the 1980s, Honda was Japan's third-largest car producer, by decade's end, third globally. Soichiro retired in 1973 and died on August 5, 1991, at 84. He reflected, "Looking back, I feel I did nothing but mistakes, blunders, and serious omissions. But I'm proud. My mistakes never repeated for the same reasons." Today, Honda spans cars, motorcycles, jets, boats, power equipment, and robots, a testament to one man's relentless pursuit. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories. See you next time.